And I told them I thought that might have to be that way. I said, they've got other things they're doing, and they said, you know, if they got around to it, possibly, but probably next year. So,
And it's, yeah,
Yep.
I'm gonna say next year. We've identified 86 miles of road that we're going to be evaluating yet this week full,
And you signed one, says
in hopes of saving them, if we can get a single seal on it. A lot of those old roads.
did you put two on the one you did out there by me?
On Whitley?
Yeah, you
That's-
did.
Yes.
Then there was one in southern Cleveland Township, I don't know, the 800 or what?
900
Nine.
and 1,000.
You did them two already?
On
Yes.
Tom's
Yes.
or mine?
In fact, today,
Because
we will
Jim's is
finish
messed up too.
the
Jim's
22
needs
miles
to be
that were
in.
milled
Yeah,
last
sign like,
year.
sign
So that'll
you
all have
and
two
Jim.
codes.
They'll all have two coats
And
on
Tom.
it, yes. And then, like I say, we've got 86 miles that we are saying that we can save. We're gonna not be able to do 86 more miles. And then we've identified 113 miles that need that third coat. So, we're actually looking into 2018 with that. So, but we're gonna get as much done as we can this year with single sealing, probably starting next week.
Sign right there on my name. And Tom signs on your name.
But for today's business, I'm here to request an additional
She's too busy going
appropriation.
celebrating her
The
anniversary.
county is committed to the purchase of 2 new tandem trucks. One was, we were gonna purchase outright. The second one, the original plan was to lease over a 3-year period. When we talked about budgets for 17 and when I've spoken with commissioners, I think it's just general consensus that if at all possible, we'd like to purchase the second truck outright rather than lease it. I got with Jana. Back in February, the council approved an additional appropriation of $200,000 towards these trucks. And the report that Jana prepared for that showed that there was a surplus funds remaining of $463,891.97. So the 200 that's already been appropriated, the 160 I'm asking for today is 360, and there's over 460 available. So I have no plans of asking for any more money. If we can get these trucks paid for, then we'll go as far as we can with the money we've got, as far as chip sealing and everything else, and we'll see you in 2017 for budgets, hopefully.
You have that, you got that money in your budget?
Well, this money, I'm not asking for it in the budget, I'm asking for an additional appropriation, but the money's in the cash page.
In your case?
Yeah, there's, I just looked this morning, there's $578,233.94 on the cash page right now. Of course, we get monthly revenue, you know.
I move we approve this request.
Second. First and second, any further discussion? If not, wait a minute.
This one came before the commissioners and got approval.
They did give me a favorable pass.
Yeah, and that was
Two
two
meetings
meetings
ago.
ago, yeah.
First and second, any further discussion? If not, all in favor, raise your right hand. All them opposed, the same.
Okay,
Okay, Brian,
thank you.
thank you.
There's 2 pages.
Okay, well, okay.
Okay, I guess we're up to the commissioner's report.
Got a short one this time. We had approval of the contract, or a favorable pass for the Fiddler contract for the recorder. We also had a favorable pass for a contract with City Force with Nathan Bilger, our Executive Director for Planning and Building, and he'll be talking to you about that, but the commissioners did have a favorable pass for that. We're asking the council to appropriate $5,000 for the US 30 Coalition. And that is a coalition of the 6 different counties: Allen County, Whitley County, Kosciuszko County, Marshall, Stark, and Porter. For the last year, they've been getting a group together and working with NDOT and state officials on the US 30 freeway project. The state is going to make that into a freeway, so we're trying to get ahead of it and come up with plans that the counties will want, rather than NDOT coming in and saying that you're going to bypass this or we're going to do this. So nothing guaranteed that they'll do what we ask, but we're all coming up with plans so that we have consistency throughout the plan, from all the way from Allen County to Porter County. We have Appian Way working with us, and a lot of the state representatives are working with us. But the city is going to pay $5,000, and the county is being asked to pay $5,000 also for this.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Could that be paid on the low end? Have you considered safety as far as,
Sure.
I mean, that's kind of what it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And I will let you know that the other counties have not done as much as Whitley County. Whitley County, we're way ahead of everybody else on this. We're ready to present that to the public, and that will be done within the next couple of months, the plan that we have. And if you'd like to see that, I think, Nathan, do you have copies of that plan?
I would have to get them from the city, but yeah, we
But we've had a lot of meetings since January on this, and
Is Columbia City the city more proactive than what Warsaw would be, or Plymouth, or
yes,
something? They are more?
yes. City's real worried that they want to bypass, and so what we're doing is we're trying to make it viable, get some viable options as far as running from on 109 and 9, 300, making sure that we have some options, 205. And I think we've come up with some good options, as good as we can come up with, because we've got restrictions within the urban area. We've got to have interchanges. There will only be interchanges on this. There'll be interchange within the city of a mile apart, and when you're out in the county area, the rural area, it's 3 miles apart, as close as you can have the intersections.
But you're thinking the same route as we have right now?
Yes.
You know, that's amazing. Oh, Ralph Heine, if you remember Ralph Heine, some of you were doing some, he lost his position because he was wanting at that time to put clover leaves in. And
Yeah.
they turned on him.
Well, and it's been a struggle for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had to do a lot of modifications because of the fact that there wasn't some pre-planning done on this, and that's what we're trying to do, because in all honesty, this is going to be a minimum of a 10-year project, 10 to 20 years before they do anything, but we're just trying to get ahead of this and make sure that our industries are aware of this, and they're involved in this, and then our commercial sector is, and residential, that everybody knows what's going on and being a part of it, rather than you look at on the US 31 project, Lakeville and some of those little towns didn't want to be a part of it, and they're dying. It's La Paz.
It just went around them, didn't it?
Yeah, it went right around them. So we've got to be proactive on this. But we're asking for $5,000 for this year for the funding for that. And again, the city is putting $5,000 in also.
Did you have another area to look for the money rather than possibly lower, or did you have something else in mind?
The only thing we were thinking about was seeded funds. And we keep tapping those seeded funds, but a LOIT, it'd be great if we could get it out of the LOIT fund.
Well, I think it's a safety issue myself.
Yeah. It truly is. Just go out there on 30 anymore. Go to any intersection.
I'll just make
I
a
would
motion.
move that we, if possible, if it's allowable, that we would pay that out of seeded, or out of
Low
low.
it.
Got a motion?
Yes.
I'll second.
Okay, got first and second.
Do you have any addition, Jana, on where it should come from?
Well, if it's not allowable, do you want to add a seat it?
Yeah, that'll be
Okay.
a second.
You put that in, if you wanted to put that, add that to the motion. Okay. Okay.
Anything else, further discussion? Not, all in favor, raise your right hand. All them opposed, the same.
Thank you.
Along those same areas of cooperation, this, all this money that comes from the state for Northeast Indiana, do we have any projects that's gonna be approved for that that you know of or not?
The only one that we've got is the city is looking at that, the pool, and we were kind of sold a bill of goods on that
I kinda
one.
think we would do.
Because that was, if you remember, when Kathy and that group came in, they told us that it was going to be matching funds and that we'd be able to propose projects. We were a little skeptical here, and so as far as the county is concerned, the only project we had was the canoe bypass or whatever it was on down at Colomer. Is just, to get around the dam. That's the only thing we did. The city had this project, and I think it's $3.5 million for the pool.
It
But
looks to me like the whole big winner of this is the downtown Fort Wayne.
That's what it started out to be in the first place, Jim.
Yeah.
That's what I
There was
think.
no question
yeah,
about
it
that.
was a riverfront
Use us
project.
for strength and everybody for strength, and they
Yeah.
reap the benefits.
My only concern is, they talked us into this RDA, which it looked great at the time, but now, with what they're doing with this, they're only providing 20% now. It isn't a 50-50, it's 80-20. You have to come up with 80%, and they'll come up with 20%. And, to me, it's a profit margin for the big companies that are going to deal with the riverfront. That's what I see it as, but,
Is there an annual fee or dues that,
well, and that's what concerns me is, right now, Regional Partnership is paying for that. And I'm sure that they're going to start coming back to the counties and wanting reimbursement for that some year.
Well, that's where they got the money got in the first place.
Yes, no doubt.
It's going back to the same well.
Yeah,
You're
do they
right.
have any commitment to it?
we've got a 5-year commitment.
There's been no doubt in my mind ever since the thing started, that's a riverfront project for Fort Wayne.
Yeah, well, they've used it for the Ash project, and now they're using it for the Embassy Theater. And neither one of those were identified as a project
At the time.
initially.
Oh, really?
No. Huntington had a project, and I'm trying to think what it is. It was a smaller project, $100,000 project. They just got turned down because it was too small of a project. And that was on the original list.
Probably what'll happen to the canoe project.
What would happen if we just say we're not gonna pay our portion?
We could do that. They haven't asked us yet, but when they do, we need to seriously take a look at it and decide what we're gonna do.
I still think all these things we're involved in, in partnerships, need to be looked at, because I'm not too sure we reap benefits from some of that.
I think some
We've
of
had a
it,
very, very good, ever since its inception, our EDC's been great. And we really don't need them. And I mean, it's nice to be involved if that helps the area, but if we're not gonna have any benefits from it, I don't know why we think we'd have to do that. I mean, I just wonder if we're not paying into some things that we get absolutely no, well, 3A, for example, and there's probably others that we may not get any benefits from. I don't really know how that works, but.
Region 3A, I think the only reason that we've hung on with that is redevelopment actually pays
That was.
that. It isn't something that comes out of the county general, but I think we've looked at that, Region 3A, we've looked at, and at this point, they do, they help us with traffic counts and some information, but
That's just like this $5,000. That could come from EDC.
yeah. The only good thing about it is John is being very frugal about things, and he hasn't asked us for any type of raises within the, the time he's been here. And for 16 and 17, he's not asking for anything additional. And actually, we had put in the CEDA budget for $100,000 for revolving loan fund for them, and he's offered to give that back. I mean, John's been very good about things.
I think most of these things, everybody is, they think that everybody will get on board because it's going to help all of Northeast Indiana. And it will.
Yeah.
We don't know about that. Whether it'll help enough to pay what we're paying, I don't know, but that's the theory.
There's a lot of good things going on with our EDC right now, with a lot of projects going on, and larger projects.
But the key to what you're saying, it's our EDC and our county, it's not Northeast Indiana, is that correct?
Yes. Well, I will tell you that IEDC, they send a lot of companies up to us. That's where we get a lot of our leads. They'll send it up, and John was the head of IEDC for a while, really gives us an in, and we get a lot of opportunities that a lot of people don't get.
But we've also got a very good governmental
Yes.
sit in the county together
We work well
to get
together.
things done.
Yep. And people know that.
And we've got a favorable tax rate
Yes,
and a good workforce.
right.
So we got all the elements it takes to make things successful, and I think that's why we get the looks we get.
Yeah. As far as the workforce, that has been an issue with a lot of the companies when we have larger companies that want to come in, because, with our unemployment rate at 4.8, they look at that, and, if it's a struggle for them to get employees, and they have to go outside to get employees, it's an issue. It's good for us and bad for us. Yeah.
Yeah. You got the old expression, you build, they'll come.
Yeah. We need residential areas, what we need within the county. We truly do, because we don't have any place for people to, even if we did have a bigger company come in, they don't have a place to move into the county.
We're going to have 125 of them in one place before we're long.
Yeah.
Where's that at, Eagle Glen?
That's just beyond Eagle Glen.
Just east.
You been out that way, Jim?
I know where you mean.
Yeah. I didn't know how many there were. I asked Jeff Walker
Off
the
the
other day.
Denver's ground there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 125 residential units in that.
I worry about that. A lot of it's built on top of muck.
Yeah, they're
And then-
missing it.
Churubusco's is adding 26 new residential.
Backside of Fisher's Ridge.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of good things going on. But there are some infrastructure issues that we're dealing with right now, too, that it just, everything costs money.
You know, back on this, it's good for Northeast Indiana. Anything that happens in Fort Wayne affects us.
Yeah.
I don't care whether it's the riverfront or jobs. We have a lot of people leave Whitley County, go to Fort Wayne, Huntington, all over for jobs. So it affects us, whatever happens.
And entertainment, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like the riverfront, the quality of life within this area, within the region is going to be better once we get things like that going. It isn't, we can't, within Whitley County, have everything. We have to be regional about anything that we do.
That attracts people to the area.
George visited us over at Churubusco one time during the daytime, and he looked at me and said, is there always this much traffic here on it? And that was a light period on it. That wasn't 3 to 5 or 3 to 7 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So we have a large flow of people coming through our county, either going to work or going to the lake, or going different directions.
Yeah, 33, and 30 is almost like driving an interstate.
Yeah.
About 9 and 30, which I cross a lot of times, when that light changes, there'll be traffic backed up for 3/4 of a mile. Don't wait for the light to change. You get a lot, and Busco's about as bad.
Do you have anything else, George?
No, the only other thing I wanted to let you know is that we have paid over $175,000 on the loan, the health loan that we had with Star Bank. And we still have almost $350,000 left in the trust account, which we try to keep at $250,000. So there's a possibility we can put another $50,000 into that loan. So a lot of good things going on there also.
That's great.
Yeah, we'd like to see you get that paid off, so before Tommy becomes commissioner, because we don't know what's gonna happen next.
That bugs him.
Gotta take a chance.
Oh, also, Pam just reminded me, we dealt with the time management. Right Stuff is, we've been working with them on a time management system, and you've dealt with this already. We talked to you about this, and it's a system that we won't be working, there won't be paperwork involved in our payroll anymore. It'll all be a system where Highway will be using a thumbprint to punch in. All the rest of the employees will have to sign in on their computers, and it's going to save a lot of the administrative duties, a lot of time for people. And we gave that a positive, a favorable pass to go to council for that. That's going to be for 2017, total on that would be $67,200. But 27,000 of that will be yearly cost. So it'll go down to 27,000 a year after the 2017.
Will that be a system that also write the checks?
No, what it's going to do is basically, it'll eliminate the paperwork that we have. And if somebody, and truly, we can control, if somebody comes in and they're punching in at 8:20 every day, it'll control
Yeah.
that. But it just makes it easier for payroll. Everything is going to be electronic, and be a lot easier for our department heads, that they won't have to spend hours
Yeah.
on paperwork.
George, clarify that a little bit. You lost me there when you said it's gonna control that 820 or whatever. How's that gonna control that?
Because they'll have to punch in or sign in every day, and when they sign in, that's, the time that they sign in is what they get paid for.
Okay.
That's everybody, not just, you mentioned Highway, but it'd be everybody.
No, that'll be everybody. But Highway, because of the fact that Highway, they don't have computers, they're not working with computers all the time, that we had to deal with that. And so they'll just have to go in and they put thumbprint on and it signs them in.
Will eliminate any people, as far as clerical type people.
I think if you look down the road possibly, but right now it will not.
I don't think it would necessarily eliminate, because, I mean, even though it's all feeding into the system, they're still gonna have to check and make sure that everything is accurate before it gets sent on to Vicky. So there's still, isn't that correct, Pam, that they'll still be ensuring it's accurate before it gets sent away?
But you say it's
So-
gonna save time, so what's them people gonna do the rest of the time that they now spend on payroll and stuff? I mean, you take somebody in an office that spends X number of hours on that, and they won't have to do that anymore. Take that down to minimal, what will they do with the rest of their time?
Well, I'm sure that the department heads would be able to find, there's plenty of work for them to do. It helps them administratively that they're not spending, and it's not wasted time, but it's time that they could be doing other productive things. And I don't, each department is going to be a little bit different on that, Jim. I don't know what to tell you on that.
So where do you check in at? I mean, where's this time clock gonna be at?
And for the highway, it'll just be,
Just like a regular time clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. if we got a snowstorm coming and the highway guys take a truck home, how's he gonna put his thumb in?
On an app on the cell phone?
So we gotta buy him cell phone?
No, they'll have their own, it's a free app, they can put it right on their phone. Or we can manually clock them in on the computer.
Just like Scott taking a meeting somebody.
You're gonna see, if we had to clock in, you're gonna see that I'm working 50 hours a week when you get into that.
Sorry, Scott. Have a nice day.
Yeah, you'll see that, we'll have actually, that's exempted employees, some of us were.
Correct. Yeah, that'd be easy.
Yeah.
Sheriff's Department, as a deputy comes on the air, logs in on his computer, that's when it starts for him.
You can, yeah, there's options there too. Logging in.
Training these, they're suffering from their babies.
And this, we're looking for this early in January, February, not this year, so it wouldn't have to be appropriated this year, but
Is it in the budget somewhere for next year for that money, someplace in the 2017 budget?
Kim and I worked it out. So we talked about it. So yep, I think we have it in there for next year.
That is if you're in favor of it.
Yeah, if you're in favor.
If you're not in favor of it, we can take it back out.
Very good point.
the option is there that if you approve it.
And I will say, actually, when I very first started, I had a previous or past employee come up to me, and that was one of her concerns, was that us just writing our time on a time card, she said you kind of lose the accountability somewhat, and she said she'd like to see something put into place, and this is what would put, the accountability back on the employees and the department heads to ensure and make sure that everything really is accurate. It would help, hopefully, you always hope there's no ghost employment going on, but this will eliminate that. It's a positive thing, so.
Jana,
Basically, you're electronically punching a time card through your computer system.
yeah. Jana and Pam and Don have been to Kosciuszko County, and they're using that system, and that's where we started on this to see how it was working and how it did work, and
Very successful there, and also will generate reports to be in compliance with the ACA regulations.
This will make it harder for people to cheat, but if you live long enough, people will figure out how to cheat.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that.
Well, you need to have policy.
Yeah, as soon as
Anybody
they
that's
submit
not
it,
doing that
it
right,
would
you're
be sent to
terminated.
her on her computer.
Look at that.
But that should be
Having to wait for the-
that should be that way already.
If you got an app on your phone, you can sign in from your bed.
Okay. Well, I don't think that's something that
I think the state of Indiana calls that ghost employment if you clock in and not work.
Yeah.
but that's where the
You know,
department
that's-
heads have got to.
Anything else, George?
That's it.
Thank you. Okay, we need to approve the
What
minutes.
about it? Is Scott?
You got something, Scott?
Yeah, what George had brought about the
Oh, I did.
contract for City Force. Didn't know if you want to look at copies of that and the final version here for the planning and health department permitting database. Again, we're not asking for any money from council at all. It'll all be paid for through a grant through us, health department, 6 of the 9,000. And then the remaining 3,000 will be paid, one from the health department and 2 from the planning and building department. So this year's 6 months fee, which was $9,000, which is the importing of all of our existing data into their new online system, we paid for up front, and then of course we'll be budgeting in our separate departments for the remainder of the fee for next year, which is around $8,000 a year. And so there'll be about 2/3 building department, planning department, and 1/3 health department, since at this time I'm the only user of that system.
Have they already put that in their budget that we already looked at? Is it in there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, we appropriated the health department $3,600 for the year. It's about $300.
Scott, is your permit system, or the permits, are they up or down this year compared to last year?
Down. The number of septic installations and wells are down a lot. Wells usually double what we do in septic, and wells are right neck and neck with septic this year. Only about 33 well permits and about 33 septic permits.
How much less would that be? Half or?
I'd say about a fifth less than last year, about 20%. It's always gone down since 2000, and it just continues to go down. And of course, if you look at the city right now, we have 3 major sewer and water subdivisions going in. We have up by Eagle Glen for that one. We have Deer Chase is now excavating for additional area. We have Heritage Place on 9 and 109. So since the fiasco in 2000 with Fannie Mae and things like that, banks are still real hesitant to loan unless you do have a 20% down payment. So a lot of people are looking at the more cost-effective houses in town than they are in the country.
Scott, this new development out here just beyond Eagle Glen, has that been annexed yet into the city?
I am unaware
You
of
know,
that.
George, is it, that's
Yes.
not our.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
was,
that-
Jim.
They, no, it's part of the city now because it was a voluntary deal. They didn't have to go through referendums or anything that, as long as,
Property owner, he can just
yeah.
say, I want to be in. Questions on this? Again, next year's appropriate for in our budgets that we're asking for, but this year should be covered. And this is a 3-year contract. Dan did review it. I think they had just one little issue in there that they're going to resolve, but other than that. This is also providing for online payment. So since we do a lot of contracting with outside county construction companies, they can submit their plans and pay online after we do a check or an approval for that. So should make things more efficient for us. That's something that we will have to work with the auditor's office and treasurer's office on, and how money comes in and the right line items and things like that, so, since we've never done that before.
Okay. Thank you, Scott.
Have a good day.
Appreciate it.
We need to approve this or just put it in next year's budget?
You already got it in your budget, right?
Right, we've added it already to our existing proposals, so.
And the county attorney has looked at this. The only thing that we had that we amended on that, that's going to be amended with what you've got is that it is a 6-month prepayment. And we put in there that if for any reason that it was terminated before the 6 months, that we would get the money back that had been paid in, that hadn't been used.
Any other questions for me while I'm here? I'm usually not in front of council, so any questions on the area of activities that I'm involved in?
How's your automobile,
We're going to court August the 30th. He has a hearing.
on 450?
Yes. Gentleman was given a court order to have all of his things cleaned up by the end of this year. However, the judge said he had to have 25% of every quarter completed. As of June 30th, he had not completed anything that I'm aware of. So we're going back to court to then hire a contractor to remove all that material. The neighbor says he's been burning some things. I don't know.
What township's that in?
At Troy.
You smell the burning?
Tom keeps an eye on for me, so, but, yes, we'll have to hire a contractor. Hopefully, that won't be above, what statutory limit that we have to actually come and advertise bids and things. Or OmniSource is probably what people are gonna ask, since it's mostly metal scraping, and
450.
maybe it won't cost the county anything. But it's a 120-acre parcel of ground, so I would hope that he would comply. Otherwise, it could go for a tax sale.
That'd be all right.
One thing I'd like to say also, Scott's done a great job for us. He's done a lot of work as far as even grant writing for us and making sure that anything that was available, we've been getting, and so she's doing a great job.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Scott, thank you. Okay, we need to approve the minutes from our last meeting.
So move.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, raise your right hand. Okay.
Oh, last name's Banning. He's been in jail
Do you have
for
anything?
child molesting and he just
I don't
lives in a
know, I don't even know
dome.
what they're talking about that.
Huh?
I don't know what they're talking about up there at the Troy, what is it?
Oh, there's a whole bunch of cars parked there. He had a whole 100 or so.
Okay, we'll take a recess and then we'll adjourn the council meeting, we'll take a recess and we'll go over the budget. That way we, with a little bit of luck, we don't have to come back in Tuesday for a workshop. So we might as well do it while we're here if everybody's in agreement with it.
Yes.
That'd be great.
It's right south of Troy Cedar Lake on 450.
They're on the north side.
Huh? South of the lake. Down there towards,
Doesn't have to be on. Check everything out.
what'd you say?
Shut that budget thing.